Hello, this is Mike from Humble Running. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you caught my Q&A video this past weekend where I talked about some super shoes and their super, i.e. high prices. I got a lot of comments on that video, questions about shoes that were potentially left out. Of course, with those kind of high prices, you can imagine the comments we got about, are shoes worth that much money? Also, I got a lot of comments about shoes that are probably a better value than you would find north of $200. So I will be following up that with another Q&A on some options that I have that are not quite super in terms of the $250 price range, but perhaps in terms of performance, they may be approaching the levels of those super shoes, but perhaps at a more reasonable price range. So keep an eye out for that. Also in the comments, I was tipped off on a few deals, and I thought that was probably very important to pass along, being that we're talking about such super high price shoes. It is important to note there's so many options out on the market right now, especially when some of those options that have been tested and are very good go on sale. I think it's important for me to point those out to you. So the first one I have for you is the Salomon S Genesis. This shoe is an all-around versatile trail shoe. It has the distance chops, of course, the shoe of choice for Courtney Dauwalter. I've tried to run this shoe in 100 miles, didn't quite make it. I made it about 60 miles or so. Perhaps a little bit too thin for me in the extremely rocky terrain that the race that I tried them in was. But I think I mentioned this in other reviews. If I had to choose one shoe when I was going on a trip and I didn't know what kind of trail terrain I'd be coming across, this has been and likely would be the choice due to its overall comfortable feel, versatile ride, flexible underfoot, ground feel is good for anything. Again, super secure upper, love the knit collar here, wide toe box, very comfortable. This is an excellent training and racing shoe. This shoe is now available on the Salomon website for $150. The retail price for this is $200 when new. I think they may have even a couple of higher priced versions. I'm not certain about that. But this is a $200 shoe for $150 now. So $150 is clearly in kind of training shoe price range. So you can get an S-Lab shoe that is well proven, highly recommended. I love this shoe at $150. This is actually my second pair of this shoe. So it still has some life in it. It still actually probably has a lot of life in it. So I'm not sure if I'm personally gonna spring for the $150 extra pair, but if you're thinking about getting an extra pair, or this is a shoe that you're very curious about, maybe you've seen my comparative review against the Prodigio Pro. This stacks up very well. A little bit of a slight difference between the two shoes, but they're within the same range. So sale for $150. If you're even thinking about it, jump on it, don't hesitate. The next shoe I have here is the Adidas Agravic 3. Now this is Adidas training companion to the Adidas Speed Ultra. There's no carbon plate in this shoe, full rubber outsole as you can see. Compared to that S-Lab Genesis, not that these are comparable shoes, but in terms of getting great deals, they are at this particular moment. It's a little bit heavier. I'd say it's a full ounce heavier than that shoe. I think this is 10.7 and that's in the range of 9.5. Again, you can't beat that S-Lab Matrix upper. You're saving a lot of weight with that Matrix upper compared to, this is a more standard kind of trainer type upper. So they didn't really go for the absolute lightest weight they could on this. They went for durability, they went for a training shoe. The MSRP is $130, and this shoe is listed in certain sizes on REI's website right now for $90. It's listed at $97 on Adidas website, and at Running Warehouse, it's $95 in all sizes. This is a shoe that's been on my shelf since I tested it in the summer for Road Trail Run. When it goes on my shelf, that means it's in rotation. It's gonna be in the mix for some of my training runs, and I'll pull it out whenever I get a chance. Problem being, I've been testing so many shoes recently, it really has sat on the shelf since the summertime, and I haven't run on it in a while until yesterday. I took these up the road on 8th Street. We've had muddy, sloppy terrain recently, so a lot of my kind of recent testing and training trails are kind of really mucky and not great for trail conditions, and actually pretty damaging if you run on them, at least in our area right here. So have to stay off those trails. Went up the road, wanted to work on some eccentric muscle damage for my quads. What we call that, quad seasoning, whatever you want to call it. Took these down, up and down the hill, hit paces in the range of 4:30 per mile on certain segments, hit 4 minutes per mile on steep descents coming down that dirt road. And I was surprised, I shouldn't say surprised, but I was kind of reminded on how good the fit on the shoe was. Really secure. I was going down that hill, again, 4 minutes per mile top speed, and I had no foot slippage going forward in the shoe. So excellent, excellent training shoe. Similar to the S-Lab. You have a little bit more foam underfoot in terms of training. So if you're thinking of that shoe and you're thinking maybe it's not enough foam, this is going to be a little bit heavier, but it's going to give you a bit denser foam, a bit more protection. Again, full rubber here, a bit less flex, a bit less ground feel, but still good. A good healthy amount of ground feel for a cushioned training shoe. Again, $95. I can't think of a training shoe at that price. No, I can't think of a better shoe at $95 than this Agravic 3 right now. So if you're perhaps Adidas Speed Ultra curious and maybe you want to get into the Adidas model line, get a feel for it, the shoe doesn't feel or ride anything like that shoe, but you'll get into the Adidas fit, have an idea somewhat of where they're going with the rocker. Maybe if you have the Adidas Speed Ultra and you want to look for a kind of more tame training companion, for $95 you cannot go wrong. Couple other quick things I saw as I was browsing around. The Running Warehouse website, Puma Deviate Nitro Elite Trail is out and released now, $230. It's available in all sizes on their website. I'm not sponsored by Running Warehouse. I'm not getting any commission on this. Something I just saw when I was checking for the sale prices on these two shoes. And that's a shoe that I looked at TRE, and it looked and felt amazing. In hand, it felt super light. The toe box is wide. It just looks like it screamed like lightweight racing shoe. I can't wait to test it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I have a test sample on my way and I'll be able to get you more details on that shoe. But for right now, it's available. If you want to go sight unseen and try a $230 super shoe, go for it. Another thing I saw, Black Diamond Deploy Wind Hood. I think this is the version I have. I talked about this in my Gear Talk Winter Glove Roundup. Now, I've been using these gloves throughout the winter. I cannot, full disclosure, recommend these on durability. I have so many gear repair patches along the seams. It's really falling apart. I don't know what is going on with these gloves. I did get them on discount at Sportsman's Warehouse for a little over $20, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I just like layering a fingerless glove underneath, and if it's even colder, a liner glove underneath because they're a little bit roomy for my hand. And I like the convertible mitt. So this has been pretty much my go-to throughout the entire winter in combination with a lighter glove underneath. I noticed that they have a Deploy glove and a new Deploy Wind Hood glove on the Black Diamond site. I noticed it once before. The convertible mitt part looks like powder blue, so I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I like to have my gloves black so that I could use them. I don't care what it looks like when I'm trail running, but maybe for casual use, I would prefer to have my gloves all black. That's one reason why I haven't probably picked up a pair at this point. But I was kind of looking at the pictures, and it seemed like the fit of them looked a little bit more streamlined. They have a little bit better of a touchscreen compatible fingertips, it seems like. And as I was scrolling through, I also noticed that they had a watch window, and that is just incredible for me. So when I'm layering, say, multiple layers with the gloves and all that, you know the deal. You want to have your wristwatch sticking out. I hate putting it on top of multiple layers. It feels kind of like a little bit weird. Having a watch window built into a convertible mitt just seems amazing. The convertible mid, updated version of this one, I think I saw for $50 and the regular glove for $40. So again, that was just something I found while I was browsing around, something of interest to me personally, and I thought maybe of interest to you. Maybe when these gloves disintegrate a little bit more over the remaining few weeks of winter, I may have to pick up a pair of those. So I hope you enjoyed these quick look at what I found on the internet, and jump on those deals if you are in the market for a solid and versatile trail training shoe. Thank you for watching.